Right now at noon, alert day conditions for the upcoming weekend with dangerously cold wind chills. We're timing out when the cold arrives and when it moves on east in the full forecast.
Plus, President Trump hits the road to defend his economic agenda less than a year from the midterms, his message and how voters are feeling about it. This is News 3 Now at noon. Thanks for joining us. I'm Josh Spreiter. We start with the latest on those alert day impacts across southern Wisconsin after some more wintry conditions are leaving roads in quite a sloppy mess today. First, our meteorologist Blaze Keller is tracking it all for us today. Hi, Blaze.
Hello, good afternoon. It is a breezy and chilly midweek here. It is 28 degrees out on our Upland Hill Skycam in Dodgeville. Northwesterly winds, they've died down a little bit from this morning, but they're still causing nearly a 10-degree cooler wind chill out there. Feels like 17 in Dodgeville. Roads aren't looking too bad there, but again, give the plows a little bit of room as they continue to clean up all that snow that we picked up overnight. So here's a look at our estimated snow totals over the last 24 hours. A lot more of that snow falling north of Madison, even north of the Dells as we expected. Current wind chills with those northwesterly winds feeling like we're pretty much right around 15, 16 degrees across all of southern Wisconsin. But that is going to feel warm compared to where our wind chill values are going to be waking up Saturday morning, particularly Sunday morning, as our next round of Arctic air is set to move on in for the weekend. Alert day conditions Saturday and Sunday for that dangerous cold. We're tracking out, as I said, when it moves in, when it moves on out, and if there's a warm-up on the way, Josh, coming up in the full forecast.
All right, Blaze, we'll see you later in the broadcast. Thank you. Let's take a current look at the road conditions across southern Wisconsin. The blue lines mean partially covered, while the purple means completely covered. Looks like we're seeing a lot more blue compared to this morning, which is good. Green lines are normal winter driving road conditions. You can track the forecast for yourself on the First Warn Weather app. It has hourly planners, road conditions, and radar. Download it for free in your phone's app store by searching WISC Weather. Right now, Madison police are seeking information after a shooting injured a man on the east side. Police responded to the scene at Cottage Grove and Dempsey Roads near the KFC around 6 o'clock last night for reports of shots fired. They found a vehicle with a bullet casing inside. After investigating the area, police found a man with a minor gunshot wound. He did not need treatment at the hospital. If you have any information, contact police or Madison area Crime Stoppers. Madison police are also investigating a sexual assault on the city's south side. Police say it happened around 2 in the morning Monday around McDivitt Road and Todd Drive near the Beltline. No arrests have been made. Police say multiple jurisdictions are on that case. If you need to talk to someone about sexual violence, there are resources available. The National Sexual Assault Hotline number is on your screen. So is the helpline for the Dane County Violence Resource Center, formerly known as the Rape Crisis Center. Right now, a family of 7 and their dog are without a home after an early morning fire on Madison's south side. It happened just before 2 this morning on Beld Street near the Catholic Multicultural Center. Madison Fire knocked the flames down within minutes. They believe it started near the kitchen. Investigators are now working to determine the cause. No injuries are reported, but the Red Cross is helping the family. With next year's midterm elections less than a year away, President Trump is hitting the road to talk about a key issue on voters' minds: affordability. Here's Natalie Brand.
I just want to say hello, Pennsylvania, and I'm thrilled to be back.
President Trump used a campaign-style speech in Pennsylvania to defend his administration's economic agenda.
I have no higher priority than making America affordable again,
while blaming Democrats and the previous administration for inflation.
Prices are coming down very substantially, but they have a new word. You know, they always have a hoax. The new word is affordability.
Government data shows the inflation rate had been falling at the beginning of the year, but began slowly rising again this spring, around the time President Trump imposed widespread tariffs. The cost of a gallon of gas is down compared to the same time last year, but utility bills are up, and shoppers say they're still feeling the pinch at the grocery store. Many are giving the economy mixed reviews.
We're definitely failing. We're definitely faltering.
For myself personally, I'd probably say about a good B. Just because my investments are doing pretty well.
Recent CBS polling finds a disconnect between how President Trump talks about the economy and how Americans say they feel, something Democrats are seizing on ahead of next year's midterm elections.
Donald Trump and Republicans have done nothing to lower the high cost of living. Housing costs out of control. Electricity costs out of control. Child care costs, out of control.
Democratic leaders have also warned of rising health care premiums, with enhanced Affordable Care Act subsidies set to expire at the end of the year. On Thursday, the Senate will vote on dueling proposals to address the issue. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
Senate Democrats have put forward a 3-year extension on the enhanced COVID-era tax credits. Republicans have an alternative proposal to replace the subsidies with government-funded health savings accounts. Well, coming up next on News 3 Now noon, how Crocs is teaming up with a big-time cartoon show, plus what the latest Labor Department numbers are showing about the economy.
U.S. job openings were mostly stagnant in October. The latest Labor Department numbers show employers posted 7.67 million job openings that month, up from 7.66 million the month before. The report also found layoffs jumped to nearly 1.9 million in October, the most since January 2023, while the number of people quitting their jobs fell. GoFundMe's analysis of 2025 found an uptick in appeals for help with basic necessities. According to the online crowdfunding platform, words like work, home, food, and bill were among the top keywords associated with campaigns this year, while monthly bills was the second fastest growing category. GoFundMe also says it received the most donations on January 10th, raising more than $8 million for the communities impacted by the Los Angeles County wildfires. Donation campaigns also rose during the recent government shutdown. And Crocs is returning to Bikini Bottom. The company is again teaming up with SpongeBob SquarePants to release limited edition clogs featuring the title character, as well as Patrick Star and Squidward tentacles. The new Crocs drop on Thursday at a price of $79.99, ahead of next week's release of Paramount's The SpongeBob Movie. Search for SquarePants. Paramount Skydance is the parent company of Paramount Pictures and CBS News. That's your CBS News Money Watch report. For more, log on to cbsmoneywatch.com. At the CBS Broadcast Center, I'm Jesse Mitchell.
Here's a look at the current stock numbers at the noon hour. The Dow is up 213 points, NASDAQ is down 45, and the S&P 500 is up 2. Our call for action volunteers are in the building today, taking your consumer complaints and taking action on your behalf. You can call for action at 608-270-2833 or submit a claim anytime at channel3000.com/call for action. Pam has today's farm numbers straight ahead at noon, plus Blaze is tracking the first warn forecast. And later on our news at 4, Lisa Briggs from the Bruce Company is back in our studio. You can start emailing your questions to tips@channel3000.com, and we'll get you the answers live at 4. Hello, Mr. Squirrel. Welcome back. Let's check in now with Pam Yankee for the Midwest Farm Report. Hi, Pam.
Hi, Josh. All kinds of snow time fun out there today. I'm thinking about my farmers that are out there still trying to feed livestock and get things done with a little bit of snow and ice. And, of course, the folks that got us cleaned out so far for this event. Let's talk a little bit about, we can't change the weather, we can't change commodity prices, and I'll tell you what, if you can't convince an ag lender to be your partner in 2026, you're not in the game at all. What's the appetite of ag lenders going into 2026, knowing everything they are? We asked that question of Rose Oswald-Poles. She is the president and CEO of Wisconsin's Bankers Association. These would be your independent ag lenders, and she said that definitely they've seen an increase in loan requests from farmers all across the state. Quarter by quarter, they've gone up about 4.81%. Year over year, up about 5.3%. Banks still are viewing agriculture in a friendly way. She says in Wisconsin, agriculture is a very important part of bankers' portfolio, so they are ready to work with farmers. She said row crop producers are the ones that are facing some of the greatest challenges going into 2026. She does predict, now remember, we've got the Federal Reserve talking about this. She does predict that interest rates are continuing to decrease in 2026, but probably at a little bit slower pace. The other thing she wants people to realize is that a lot of farms have chewed through a lot of cash reserves in 2024 and 2025, and that you've been hearing in the news about that USDA financial assistance. She said probably 90 to 95% of that money will be going directly back to the lenders that help those farms operate through 2025 and prepay on 2026. Again, Rose Oswald-Poles, President CEO of Wisconsin Bankers Association. Talked a little bit more about what's happening in agriculture. You heard yesterday about that Marquette County location with high-path avian influenza. Just another reminder from the Department of Ag, Trade, and Consumer Protection to remember that you are required by state law to register if you own any livestock, and that includes poultry or birds. It's part of our livestock premise ID program, and basically what it does is require owners to register where that livestock lives or is kept. And it's all about trying to help us when it comes to biosecurity. If an outbreak like high-path avian influenza occurs, then that allows the Department of Agriculture to confidentially access that information network and let you know if somebody in your neighborhood's got a problem. WIID.org, the website to get registered if you haven't taken care of that already. Markets today kind of lackluster. We got a World Ag Supply Demand report yesterday that basically told us corn's got plenty of demand, but we're missing China when it comes to soybeans. That is the story of kind of the fourth quarter so far. Dairy today, very, very quiet. Barrel cheese unchanged, 40-pound block cheese unchanged, AA butter unchanged. CoBank just came out with their projections for 2026. They say dairy producers that are focused in on protein as their premium should see some benefits. Josh, that's all about everybody on these, what do they call it, GLP-1 drugs, the weight loss things, looking for high-quality protein. Dairy's got it. We just have to make sure that we're paying attention to the markets where we're using it.
Oh, there we go. Some good news there. A lot of moving parts, kind of like this forecast these days. If you're bored, just wait 5 minutes, right, Pam?
Very true. Very true.
All right, Pam Bianchi, thank you. Let's get to that certified most accurate forecast now. The first war meteorologist, Blaze Keller, and boy, it is active.
It has been an active couple of days, to say the least. We're going to be dealing with a little bit of some light snow here Thursday into Friday. Most of us probably picking up about an inch or less. We'll take a look at that in just a moment. But we're going to really focus the rest of the forecast on the very cold temperatures that are expected to arrive later this weekend. Again, our model's really looking at very minimal snow chances through Friday afternoon. So a little clipper is going to scoot through southwestern parts of Wisconsin. We'll put together a snow model graphic here for the afternoon shows. But again, I think the bigger weather concern, at least moving into this weekend, is going to be this dangerous cold air coming out of the Arctic. I looked at, we have a tool where we can see where air masses are coming from, and this is coming out of the Arctic, and it's not only cooling down all of Wisconsin essentially, but a lot of Minnesota, North and South Dakota, Iowa, Illinois, parts of Indiana as well. This will be moving in as we go into Saturday morning. This is a look at some of those wind chill values across the Midwest. If you're planning on going anywhere this weekend, especially further to the north and west, it is going to be cold. As we step ahead into Sunday morning, once again being another cold morning, this is likely going to be the coldest of the two Sunday, because we have to move in that air for Saturday, and then it really sets up as we go into Sunday. So if you're up early Saturday, it is going to be chilly even as we head into the afternoon, right around 3 through 5, normally the warmest point of the day. It's still feeling like we're 15 to 20, 25 degrees below zero. We step ahead into Sunday morning. Thankfully, this is not a day that the kids will have to go to school, because it is going to be likely our coldest morning of the two, with wind chill values pretty much in those negative 20 to negative 30 range, possibly a lot of us hanging out right around negative 30 degrees. As we step ahead into Sunday afternoon, we start to get some relief. No more negative teens and 20s into the afternoon. Now we're starting to feel just slightly below zero. It'll be a chilly start to Monday morning, but not as cold as where we have been. However, you put a negative in front of any number, it is definitely going to feel cold. So by Monday, we start to say goodbye to the cold. So we're going to have those alert days through Saturday and into Sunday. Again, Sunday is likely going to be our coldest day, especially in the morning hours. How often do we see this Arctic blast of cold air? When we look at that, negative 20 to negative 30 degree wind chill values, we average about, if you combine the two, kind of 4 days throughout the winter. At max, we've spent 13 days with negative 20, or we've recorded 13 days with negative 20 or below wind chill values. But when you get to about negative 30 degrees or below wind chill values, we cut that down to roughly about 4.5 to 5 days. So it isn't too often that we get this cold, but when we do, it is a shock to the system, to say the least. 4 as an expected high temperature on Sunday, 5 on Saturday. We're back into those mid-30s. By next Wednesday, we'll be there into the upcoming weekend. So definitely a bit of a roller coaster here. Please make sure that you are staying warm, especially, as I mentioned, Saturday night into Sunday. That's going to be our coldest one. Until then, a little bit of some fresh snow. Thursday and Friday will only reinforce the cold. And again, we'll have a snow model map here coming out later this afternoon. And then it's a thing of the past, because by Monday we're into the teens, and by Tuesday of next week we're into those 20s and 30s.
Yeah, we'll be breaking out the shorts a week from today.
I know, it's going to feel like summer after sitting at 4 degrees.
We'll get through it. All right, Blaze, thank you. Up next at noon, Susan Simon sits down with the Wisconsin Beef Council for today's recipe. Angie Horkin will show us a special rib roast just in time for the holidays.
Angie Horkin from the Wisconsin Beef Council is here today with one of the most popular meals over the holidays. Hi, Angie.
Hello. Can you believe we're in the holiday season?
Yes, here it is.
Here it is. So ready or not. But yeah, I always talk this time of year about prime rib.
Prime rib, yeah.
Because, okay, like 80% of our supermarkets feature it. So it's popular. And so watch your flyers at your favorite supermarket or meat market or wherever you shop.
Is it expensive this year?
Well, it's not bad, considering the whole scope of everything.
Okay.
But if the supermarket that I shop at, they kind of priced them ahead of time. They hedged their prices and they got a good deal. And I've got boneless.
Okay, but
So
when you go in
I
the
got a
store,
boneless-
you're not looking for a prime rib.
Right, it's not labeled prime rib. So when you go out to eat at your favorite supper club on Saturday night, it's labeled prime rib. Kind of that's the finished dish's name. In the supermarket, because it can be misleading because there's grades of beef. So prime, choice, select, standard. In the supermarket, in most of our Wisconsin supermarkets, all of our ribeyes, rib roasts are choice. So if they were to label it prime, it'd be kind of misleading, a little confusing. But a choice boneless ribeye or bone-in ribeye is what you need to bake at home to make a prime rib.
Okay, great.
So you need a roasting pan, a rack, and most importantly, a thermometer. So an oven-safe thermometer. This is kind of the old school dial kind. Tons of different kind of Bluetooth fancy thermometers, whatever you feel comfortable with, because all these roasts will cook a little bit differently in everybody's oven. I like to tell people to set your timer 20 minutes per pound. This is a little over 5 pounds. 20 minutes per pound is on the light side, because once you go back too far, you can go back.
Right.
So kind of start checking your thermometer. I like to pull them out at 135.
Okay.
Now 145 USDA says is medium rare. So then you let it rest, tent it with some foil, leave it right in your pan on your rack.
And you don't do any preparation beforehand before you put it in the oven? You just put it straight in?
You can, the one I have here too, rib roast with horseradish sauce, so a very traditional recipe. I rubbed it with kosher salt, black pepper, garlic, and I use the jar garlic because it's kind of wet, makes a wet paste, and then some olive oil.
Oh, great. Okay.
That was it. So rub
And then it makes
now,
this delicious crust.
It does. Beeftips.com, we have tons of different kinds of fancy rubs, sauces, anything. I mean, any kind of recipe you can think of, we have a lot. But I did just a traditional, and then this has a horseradish sauce with it. So I actually kind of almost made like a horseradish whipped cream to go with it, with heavy whipping cream. But yeah, invest in a thermometer you trust, 350-degree oven. It'll make for a delicious meal. Now, you also can smoke these.
Oh,
we have
wow.
a recipe for smoked prime rib.
Well, that
very
sounds
good.
delicious. And you usually want to serve it medium rare? Or is that just your preference?
That's
Whatever
my preference, but you know what? You could serve it medium. It still would be a good eating experience because this is a ribeye and it has so much marbling. So it's going to stay juicy and tender. It's a premium cut. But check out beeftips.com. We've got a whole page called Beef Up the Holidays with everything you need to know and everything you didn't even know you needed to know is there. Different cuts, different recipes, some videos. Check it out if you got time. Some tips and tricks.
Couldn't be easier. I mean, really, it couldn't be easier.
It's not that bad. It seems intimidating. This is a premium cup because you want a great holiday meal. You know, this is the star of the table. But check it out. Do a little research. Spend 5 minutes, and you'll be fine.
All right, we can't wait. Bon appetit.
Yes.
Thanks, Angie.
Thank you, Susan and Angie. Let's go to Blaze now with a final check of your forecast.
And it is going to be a cloudy day for the remainder of Wednesday. We're looking at temperatures to hang out in those upper 20s to low 30s here for the next several hours, and then we'll eventually cool on down. Josh and folks at home, a little bit of snow possible Thursday, Friday. We'll get you some updated possible snow totals here starting at 4 o'clock this afternoon. But all eyes are on that cold. Single-digit highs Saturday, Sunday. Wind chill values both days. Going to feel like 20 to 30 degrees below zero. And then it's a thing of the past. By next Tuesday and onward, we are in the 20s and 30s with little to no snow chances.
All right, Blaze, thank you. Thanks for watching News 3 Now Noon. Coming up next is The Bold and the Beautiful. Our next newscast is live at 4.